One of the most heart-wrenching moments in F1 history is the death of Ronnie Peterson. He died doing what he loved most, racing. His tragic crash still brings fans to tears. Bengt Ronnie Peterson, better known as SuperSwede, was a Swedish racing driver and a two-time runner-up in the Formula One World Drivers' Championship. Despite his impressive career, his life ended in tragedy. The 1978 Italian Grand Prix at Monza started off badly for Ronnie Peterson. During practice, he damaged his Lotus 79 race car beyond repair and bruised his legs. The team had a spare 79, but it was built for Mario Andretti and didn't fit the much taller Peterson. The only other option was an older Lotus 78, which had seen better days. After the race, many drivers said the green light was given too early, causing the cars at the back to start rolling while the ones at the front were still standing. This led to a bunching up of cars as they approached the first chicane. While the front four drivers avoided trouble, Peterson, starting from the third row, had a poor start and was passed by several drivers. Jody Scheckter and Riccardo Patrese, starting further back, moved to the right and then tried to rejoin the track. Patrese moved back just ahead of James Hunt, causing a collision that involved Peterson and several other drivers, resulting in a massive crash. Peterson's Lotus crashed hard into the barriers and caught fire, bouncing back into the middle of the track. Trapped in the burning wreckage, he was in serious danger. Thankfully, James Hunt, Clay Regazzoni and Patrick DePalla rushed to his aid. Braving the flames, they managed to free Peterson before he sustained more than minor burns. Meanwhile, track marshals were working to extinguish the fire.
Dramatik alltså redan I starten här.
Peterson was dragged to safety and laid in the middle of the track. Although fully conscious, he had severe leg injuries. Hunt later shared that he tried to prevent Peterson from looking at his legs, hoping to spare him from more distress. The heroic efforts of his fellow drivers undoubtedly saved him from further harm, but the scene remained a deeply traumatic and tragic moment in Formula One history. Then came the crushing heartbreak that left everyone devastated. At the time, there was even more concern for Vittorio Brambilla, who had been struck on the head by a flying wheel and was slumped, unconscious, in his car. Brambilla was in serious condition and wouldn't race again in Formula One until a year later. Meanwhile, it seemed like Peterson's injuries, though severe, were not life-threatening. Sid Watkins and his medical team quickly went to Brambilla's car to extract him from the wreckage. Both injured drivers, along with others, were rushed to a hospital in Milan. While everyone was focused on getting the injured to safety, the race organisers worked to clean up the track, and eventually the race was restarted. At the hospital, X-rays revealed that Peterson had around 27 fractures in his legs and feet. After talking it over with him, the doctors decided to move him to intensive care to stabilise the broken bones. However, there was some disagreement among the medical team about whether all the fractures needed to be fixed immediately or if they could wait. During the night, Peterson's condition took a turn for the worse. He developed a fat embolism, a serious complication where fat droplets enter the bloodstream and block blood vessels. By morning, his kidneys had failed due to the embolism. Tragically, at 9:55 a.m. on September the 11th, 1978, Peterson was declared dead. His sudden decline and untimely death left the racing community in shock and mourning. At the same race where tragedy struck, Ronnie Peterson's teammate Mario Andretti clinched the championship. Reflecting on the bittersweet moment, Andretti said, "It was so unfair to have a tragedy connected with probably what should have been the happiest day of my career. I couldn't celebrate, but I knew that trophy would be with me forever, and I also knew that Ronnie would have been happy for me." Despite his untimely death, Peterson secured second place in the 1978 drivers' standings posthumously. His funeral was a sombre event, attended by many from the racing community. The pallbearers included notable drivers such as Arke Strandberg, James Hunt, Jody Scheckter, John Watson, Emerson Fittipaldi, Gunnar Nielsen, and Niki Lauda. The ceremony was a heartfelt tribute to a beloved racer whose life and career had ended too soon. His death sparked a chain of sorrowful events. Arrow's driver, Riccardo Patrese, faced criticism from several members of the Grand Prix Drivers Association, notably James Hunt, who held him responsible for the first lap crash at the Italian Grand Prix. As a result, Petrese was suspended from competing in the next race, the 1978 United States Grand Prix. The circumstances surrounding Peterson's tragic death were brought to trial in an Italian criminal court. Driver Riccardo Petrese and race director Gianni Restilli were both accused of playing roles in the incident. Petrese faced charges of manslaughter due to an unsafe manoeuvre on the track, which was deemed a significant factor in the crash. Restilli was charged for his part in starting the race with a premature signal, contributing to the events leading to Peterson's death. After a legal process, both Petrese and Restilli were acquitted of all criminal charges on October 28, 1981. Peterson's wife, Barbro, struggled deeply with his untimely passing and tragically took her own life on December 19, 1987. She was laid to rest beside Ronnie in the Peterson family grave in Åbro, where they now rest together. Although he departed soon, his legacy was like none other. Peterson is often regarded as one of the greatest Formula One drivers never to have won a championship, and he's celebrated as Sweden's finest racing talent. In a 2016 academic study using mathematical models to evaluate drivers' influence versus their machines, Peterson was ranked as the 21st best Formula One driver of all time. He also earned recognition as the 6th best driver never to clinch a title. His enduring legacy in motorsport continues to inspire admiration and respect among fans and experts alike. In Örebro, Sweden, there stands a statue of Peterson, crafted by Richard Brixel, honouring his legacy in motorsport. The official Ronnie Peterson Museum, opened on May 31, 2008 by Ronnie's daughter Nina Kennedy, is another tribute to his enduring impact. A documentary titled SuperSwede, a film about Ronnie Peterson, directed by Henrik Janssen Schweizer, features insights from racing legends like Mario Andretti, Emerson Fittipaldi, Nina Kennedy, and Niki Lauda. This film, along with various short tributes, can be found on platforms like YouTube. During the 2014 Monaco Grand Prix, fellow Swedish Formula One driver Marcus Ericsson paid homage to Peterson by wearing a specially designed helmet modelled after Peterson's iconic style. This tribute extended to Ericsson's victorious race in the 2022 Indianapolis 500, where he donned a similar helmet, keeping Peterson's memory alive in the world of racing. His journey holds a special place in his fans' hearts. Peterson started his racing journey in karting, the traditional starting point for many future open-wheel race drivers. He quickly rose through the ranks, winning multiple karting titles, including 2 Swedish championships in 1963 and 1964. His success paved the way for a move to Formula 3, where he showcased his talent by winning the Monaco Grand Prix Formula 3 support race in 1969. Later that same year, he clinched the FIA European Formula 3 Championship. In 1970, Peterson made his debut in Formula One with the March factory team. Over 3 years with March, he secured 6 podium finishes, with a standout performance in 1971, where he finished as the runner-up in the Drivers' Championship. His skill caught the attention of Colin Chapman, leading to a move to Team Lotus in 1973, where he partnered with reigning champion Emerson Fittipaldi. Peterson flourished at Lotus, claiming 7 victories in his first 2 seasons, including a career-best 52 points in 1973. Following a challenging 1975 season, Peterson returned to March and captured his final win for the team at the 1976 Italian Grand Prix. He then spent the 1977 season with Tyrrell before rejoining Lotus in 1978 as the second driver alongside Mario Andretti. Despite his tragic accident at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza, where he lost his life, Peterson's exceptional performances that season included wins in South Africa and Austria, securing him a posthumous second place in the Drivers' Championship standings. Peterson's life was nothing short of extraordinary, from thrilling his fans with race victories to bringing them to tears with his tragic death. He lived a remarkable and inspiring life that touched the hearts of many. Well, with that being said, we have reached the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe if you already haven't. And while you are at it, make sure to drop a comment telling us who to cover next.